Are you ready for the King of the Ice? Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12 Ounce Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday, June 16th, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice himself, and fantasy football guru Philly Pete. And we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. This show, Pete's Power Plays, is sponsored by MyBookie.ag. Sports are back, as we know, ladies and gentlemen. NHL playoffs are in full effect, or the NBA playoffs in full effect. Baseball, we got the Euros going on right now. What better way to start cashing out large than going to mybookie.ag? Use the promo code 12ounce sports, 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces. Once again, mybookie.ag. Use that promo code 12ounce sports, 12OZ sports, and from there they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. And hey, always remember to gamble responsibly. Zingo TV, channel 761. Those out there that are tuning in, welcome aboard to today's episode of Pete's Power Plays. If you don't have Zingo TV, it's a free app. Download it on every streaming device out there. Just search up ZINGO, Zingo TV, and then flip over to channel 761 where you'll be hearing today's episode live of Pete's Power Plays. And last but not least, Amazon.com. We have a website out there, of course. Summer's in. Summer is in the mix, as we know quite well. You know, got a week away till summer. So get all of your apparel, all your summer needs, bathing suits, golfing attire, shorts, tanks, whatever it may be. Go to www.12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. Once again, www.12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. So my apologies for the technical difficulties in the beginning of this show here. So we're going to get started for today. We had a great night last night. And, what can I say? We had a great night last night, back on the ice. We lost a quarter unit the other night. And last night, we win a unit. We get that back. So the Lightning, that cashed out. And, of course, the over 5 for the Clients cash out. So that's no problem. For last night, there was an easy peasy win there for the Clients over 5. And the only loser last night was the first period. Tampa Bay Lightning first period minus a half goal at plus 155. That was the only problem there. It's okay. I mean, it was first off, Tampa Bay had that period won. If it wasn't for that terrible call in the off, obviously it was a call on Braden Point. But Polach just literally shoved him right into the goaltender, into Varlamov. I mean, that's a terrible call. And, refs, I'm surprised refs saw it. They didn't see that well. We all saw it. And it was just a terrible call. It was a terrible call. Of course, it led to a power play, and then it led to the eventual New York Islanders goal to tie up the game at 1-1 after the first period. I thought it was a crap call. I think everyone else thought it was a crap call as well. That's something that you don't do, especially when you have your goaltender out there who's been on fire right now. Have him in danger of getting hurt, and thankfully he was all right. He came back in the second period, but that is something that you don't do, especially as a teammate and you're that close. You push the opposing player right into your goaltender. Like that was really bad, terrible call by the officiating there, and it is what it is. So today's show, I want to talk about last night's recap. All right, Game 2 of the Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tonight's Game 2 with my best bets, and my odds for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Montreal Canadiens. Game 2 there in Sin City. And last but not least, my top 10 wide receivers for fantasy football. What can I say? I mean, we're ready to rock and roll. I did the running backs yesterday, and today I want to talk about the top 10 wide receivers when it comes to fantasy football and PPR. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wednesday, middle of the week episode of Pete's Power Plays, again hosted by the one, the only, King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete, and we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Once again, I truly apologize for the technical difficulties there in the beginning of the show there. So I'm just going to tweet this out and make sure everyone knows that I'm back live now, and everyone can hop in, and we'll get the day started, no problem. But again, hopefully everyone had a great evening last night. And also Game 5 tonight. Sixers and the Atlanta Hawks. Game 5. So critical game for Philly. Praying that we get that dub tonight and take a commanding 3-2 series lead before we head in to Atlanta for Game 6. So let me just get this out for everybody, just so you know I'm back live now, and all's good. All's good now. Just had to change something within the network, with my network for my service here. So, but we're back live. We're good. We're ready to rock and roll. So rest assured, here we go. So you know what? Let's get us started with the recap from last night. Now we had a good time last night for sure. We did great. So let me recap this real fast. So the Lightning, we had the Lightning -1 at -115. That cashed out, of course. The Lightning first period minus a half goal at +155. That looked great on paper. I loved everything about that play. I expected Tampa to come out. They got that first goal, and then, of course, that bullcrap interference call on Braden Point. Of course, Islanders took advantage, and they scored. They had a 1-1 after the first period. Unfortunately, that lost. But the Clients do win there over 5. Tampa, New York over 5 goals at -130. That cashed out for the Clients. So, hey, 2-1 on the night. We got a +1 unit overall, and we'll take that to the bank and run. So right now, my NHL playoffs sit at 61 wins, 71 losses, and 7 pushes, minus 9.1 units overall. So now we're in the single digits. I'm hoping to make my way back to even, hopefully, by the time the end of the season concludes here in the Stanley Cup Finals. And then my NHL year-to-date, 519 wins, 493 losses, and 41 pushes. That gives me a grand total of plus 68.78 units on the ice. This is including season and postseason. If you caught me during the regular season, we were up over 80 units in the regular season. So there you go. We've been another efficient year. Like I said, first season capping the NHL, we went over 85 units. Last year we went over 130 units, and of course this season we are at over 80 units on the puck as well on the ice. So again, we got tons of action. I can't wait for next season with you guys, but I will be giving out, of course, my playoff plays like usual. Clients will have no plays tonight. We have one game, Vegas and Montreal. As of now, there's no plays for the Clients. I'm still debating on getting one out, but there is only one play that I have in mind today, and I will discuss that, of course, when we go into the Game 2 tonight. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to shift into Game 2. Montreal at the Vegas Golden Knights, and I'll talk about this, and then I'll get into commercial break. So this is a 9 o'clock puck drop in Vegas. Here we go. Knights, Habs, Vegas is -270 on the money line. Montreal is +225 as a dog on the money line. Over-under set at 5 at -130. 75% of the money is going towards Vegas. I'm not surprised. 25% of the money is going towards Montreal. Again, I'm not surprised by these numbers at all. Vegas 27-6 at home, 17-19 when covering the puck line at home, and 5-4-1 in their last 10 when it comes to the overs. Montreal, on the other hand, 16-12-4 at home away this year. 19-16 in the last 35 on the road, and 3-6-1 when it comes to their last 10 overs. So this opened up by 5.5. It has dropped down to 5 at -130. Some books are at -140. DraftKings currently is at -150. So I mean, they're keeping the 5 spot out there for now. So I mean, we'll see what happens. It will probably move back to 5.5 on some sites, but I locked in the over 5 at -130, and that's my play for tonight. For Twitter will be the Vegas Golden Knights, Montreal Canadiens over 5 at -130. Again, this is an auto. When I see 5s, that's an automatic bet for Philly Pete. Again, we did it last night. That cashed out. And I must say the over 5s this whole season, including regular season and playoffs, have treated us pretty good with that 5 spot. I mean, look at the Boston Islanders series. that they only had one under in that entire series. The entire rest of the series went 4-1-1. So four games going over. You had one push at 5 and then one under game. So, I mean, the 5s have been treating us very, very well. And if we keep seeing it, I'm still taking the over. Simple as that. So let's cash this out again tonight. So I'm on the over 5. And, I do have my 50-1 Montreal ticket to win the Stanley Cup. But tonight, I just think Vegas here is just, again, I just think Montreal, we saw what they did in Game 1. Carey Price, letting up 4 goals, not what we expected. But just because the way Montreal has been playing, but they're finally, to me, I just feel like they're getting exposed. They're playing the better team out of between Montreal and Winnipeg, of course. Vegas has better defense. Of course, Marc-Andre Fleury has been lights out, and we know how potent their offense can be. So, I mean, with that being said here, the lines are crazy juicy right now. Again, the money line's at minus 270. And then you also have Vegas -1 at minus 175. Some books are at minus 165. That's still heavy dollar right now. In regulation, Vegas is minus 150. I'll consider playing that possibly tonight. Vegas in regulation, but still, that is a lot of juice to be laying tonight. But they kicked ass in Game 1. Vegas, I expect more of the same here tonight. I expect some goals. I expect Montreal to get a couple goals tonight. I'm thinking a 4-2 Vegas win here. That's my guess here for this evening, and that's where I'm going with this one. And the only plus side of things is Vegas minus 1.5 on the puck line, and that's at plus 110 on most books. So you're getting a little bit of value for Vegas to win by more than 1 goal. At home, however, like I said, they're 17-19 in the last 36 when it comes to covering the puck line. Montreal puck line, we tried doing it our last game for the clients. That unfortunately lost in very blown out status. So I expect more of the same from Vegas tonight. So with that being said, I'm already on the over 5 at minus 130. I like Vegas here. I'm all over Vegas here tonight. I expect them to take a 2-0 series lead heading back to Montreal. And that's where I expect Montreal to wake up a little bit and possibly tie up the series. But we'll see. One game at a time here. But I'm on Vegas here tonight. I think they go up 2-0 in the series. Vegas is just a team that Montreal's not used to seeing. They're big. They're aggressive. They're very consistent, very accurate. They have playmakers everywhere between defensively, offensively, and of course, you get your goaltender in the Flower himself. So this Vegas team is absolutely stacked, and it's David versus Goliath in this game, in this entire series, to be honest with you. So I like, with that being said, I like Vegas here. Like I said, if you want that top dollar, take Vegas on the money line. I like Vegas -1. I also like the regulation play. I really think Vegas does win this game. So I'm all over Vegas here tonight. And I like the over 5. Over 5 is, like I said, my only Twitter play for this evening, but we will see what happens. Of course, there's always some last-minute commodities that I might end up doing. So stay tuned to that. But all in all, there you go, Vegas. I'm all over Vegas here tonight. And the over 5 in Game 2 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Vegas Golden Knights. With that being said, I want to take a quick 2-minute commercial break. When I get back, my top 10 fantasy football wide receivers for PPR leagues. Stay tuned, give me 2, and I'll be right back.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking that quick 2-minute commercial break. This is the Wednesday, June 16th, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice and fantasy football guru himself, Philly Pete, and we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Thank you so much for taking time out of your afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you may be across the world, and hanging out with yours truly as we discuss my top 10 fantasy football wide receivers in PPR leagues. Like I said, all my leagues are PPR. Standard league, if you're interested, I will do a top 10 for all positions, all players in terms of standard leagues, but this is strictly for PPR, half PPR. That's basically the consensus of where my leagues are, where it mostly should be. So that's where I'm standing. So if you missed out on the earlier segment, I had a little bit of technical difficulties in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the show, so my apologies for that. If you missed out on the earlier segment, I went over my Game 2 predictions and bets for tonight's Montreal Canadiens at the Vegas Golden Knights. Of course, Vegas leading the series 1-0. I'm on the over 5 at minus 130. Get that number in now. Take the bet now before it goes up, because right now it's at minus, some books are at minus 140, minus 150. DraftKings and FanDuel are at minus 150 as we speak. Some books right now, locals, are at minus 140. I locked the over 5 at minus 130 in last night, so take it while you can. It's gonna move up to back to 5.5. Simple as that. But rest assured, that's where I'm at. Over 5, Vegas and Montreal. And I'm all over the Vegas Golden Knights here once again. They truly dominated Game 1. I expect more of the same from Vegas tonight. And I expect them to be up 2-0 before they head back to Montreal. So again, Montreal money line, Montreal minus 1.5 and minus 1. Again, these are juicy plays here. Minus 1's at minus 175, and the the regulation is at minus 150, which isn't too bad. But the minus 1.5 is at plus 110. So a little bit of bang for your buck there if you love a value play there. So I'm all over Vegas tonight in Game 2. I expect them to take the 2-0 series lead once again, and the over 5 at minus 130. So that's where I stand for Vegas and Montreal. That game is tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So without further ado, let's get into my top 10 fantasy football wide receivers per PPR. A lot of big-time players that didn't make my list for top 10, but on the outside that we're looking in, Mike Evans, he comes in. I'm looking at Julio Jones as well. These are players that are in my 15 to 10 range. Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, they're just right on the outside, and Terry McLaurin as well. You could even add in DJ Moore. I expect with a better quarterback with Sam Darnold at the helm, I expect DJ Moore to have a nice bounce-back season too. You could also add in Deontay Johnson and CeeDee Lamb as well from the Dallas Cowboys, of course. I expect them to have another solid year. Of course, with a healthy Dak, I like CD to have a solid season this year too. So the one guy that I was on the cusp of going back and forth is Allen Robinson. I'm on the mix between Allen Robinson and Michael Thomas for my 10-11 spot. I can't decide, but I like Allen Robinson more than Michael Thomas this year, just because now don't get me wrong. Justin Fields is going to come in and start right away, I feel like. And Allen Robinson is a PPR machine. Auction drafts, he goes for cheap, between $25 and $30 for the last couple of years now. That I've been, noticing this with Allen Robinson. Bad quarterback or not, Trubisky threw him all the passes. Nick Foles threw him all the passes. He caught everything. He's going to give you like 8 to 10 catches a game. For PPR, that's 10 points. Half PPR, you're getting 5, and he'll give you 80 to 100 yards a game and possibly a touchdown. So in every game last year, on average, he had you about 15 to 17 points a game. That's really, really good. But I like Allen Robinson here at number 10. Michael Thomas, for me, is on the outside at number 11. I just think that with Jameis Winston, I know they pass all the time in New Orleans. Michael Thomas had a really bad year last year. Do I expect him to bounce back? Sure. With Jameis? Sure, why not? We know what Jameis is all about in Tampa, because all they did was throw the ball. So I do expect Michael Thomas to have his fair share this year as well. He's going for $30, $30 to $40 I'm seeing on most mock auction drafts right now. So take a shot with Michael Thomas. Like I said, I'm between these two are like 10 and 11 together. If I had to have a tie for 10th, I had Michael Thomas and Allen Robinson. That's how much I like them. At number 9, I had Keenan Allen from the LA Chargers. Another guy that had a great year last year. Of course, he missed the last couple of weeks. Of course, during fantasy playoffs, I had him in the semifinals, and of course that Thursday night football game that he played against the Vegas Raiders, I should say, Oakland Raiders. Vegas Raiders. He played, but he didn't do anything. I kept him in the lineup. He only got me like 2 points, but that's what you got to do. He had a great year last year. He was pretty healthy for the most part. For like, three quarters out of the season, the last 3-4 weeks, he was hurt. So, hamstrings do catch up. Linger. They do linger when you get older. So Keenan Allen, he's in his prime. He's been in his prime, and this is a good year. I hope that he stays healthy this year. And he's another PPR guy. A lot of Justin Herbert targeted him so many times last season. He scored a lot last year. He had a good bounce back year. So those Keenan Allen fans should be really happy. And of course, with Austin Eckler coming back this season, this should help the Chargers big time. So as long as Keenan Allen can stay healthy on the field, I expect him to be a huge PPR monster. And again, like when it comes to auction drafts, last year I got him for $15. I know this year he might go for about maybe $25. Just depends on, of course, who you draft with, because you have somebody that'll draft him for like $40, and at that point it's not even worth it. But if you have a healthy Keenan Allen this year, I expect him to blow up and have another good, successful year like last year until, of course, injury hit him. So at number 9, I have Keenan Allen. At number 8, I have Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, of course, we know what he can do. All right, Stephon Diggs left to go to Buffalo. Justin Jefferson fit that role really well. I'm still bummed out that the Eagles did not take him in the draft last year. We ended up taking Jalen Reagor, of course, but Justin Jefferson was there, and of course, he blows up for over 1,000 yards receiving, touchdown galore. He's a great commodity for the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to be a great player for years to come. You sign him up right next to Adam Thielen. I mean, Cousins could get you the ball. As mediocre as Kirk Cousins is, he will get the ball out there. And, Justin Jefferson is a huge, huge PPR guy for me this year. And I like him. I really do. He, as much as I should bump him up this year, it just all depends on the quarterback. It really does, Kirk Cousins. But at number 8, for me, I have Justin Jefferson from, of course, the Minnesota Vikings. At number 7, I have DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, we know how he is. You have a great quarterback at the helm with Russell Wilson. You have Tyler Lockett next to you as well. But he is the fastest receiver in the game, and it's tough to beat him. It's tough to outrun him. He'll catch everything in sight, throw him in bomb. You're guaranteed 80 yards and a touchdown right off the bat. I mean, I love everything about DK. He'll catch the ball when needed. He makes acrobatic plays. He does it all for Seattle, and I really love everything about him. He's going at least second round in late first, early second round in most leagues this year from mocks, from what I'm seeing. And when it comes to auction drafts, he's going for about $40, $45. So if you want to snag him again, go ahead. I expect him to have a nice, great season as well. I mean, another stud for Russell Wilson. So at number 7, I have DK Metcalf. At number 6, I have Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Julio's gone. Julio's on Tennessee. We know that. And this is Calvin's year. This is Calvin Ridley's breakout year, I feel. I mean, he had a great year last year. And this year, there's no other. He's wide receiver 1. There's no one behind him. All right, you have Kyle Pitts, of course, at the tight end with Hayden Hurst, of course. But this is Calvin Ridley's year, and I expect a huge, huge year for Ridley this year. And, I just love everything about this guy. He'll catch everything as well. I really do. I really do love everything about him. And you could easily guarantee him over 1,000 yards in receiving and double-digit touchdowns this year. Of course, when you have Matt Ryan, and when you know that you're going to throw the ball a lot down there, you're in a dome. I favor dome receivers a lot. I really do. I do favor dome receivers a lot, especially Atlanta and the Saints. The fact that you're in the same division, okay, and then you play in New Orleans. That's another dome game for Atlanta. So I mean, you're literally more than half of your games are in a dome, and you got to take advantage of that. I highly favor dome stadium wide receivers, kickers. Quarterbacks. I mean, simple as that. That's just how it works. So at number 6, I have Calvin Ridley. I expect a big monster year from him this year, and that's where I'm at. Number 5, I have A.J. Brown. I know not a lot of people are kind of dropping him a little bit in rankings because of the Julio addition, but that's all smokescreen stuff. I wouldn't even budge at all. A.J. Brown is a top receiver and a top 5 receiver at that, excuse me. And, Julio Jones is just going to help him out, and instead of double teaming A.J. Brown, he's going to be having solo coverage for most of the season. And again, Ryan Tannehill had a great season last year, throwing in the ball, and we know A.J. Brown could do it all too. We know that. That's why he's a top 5 wide receiver. They are loaded on offense right now, this Tennessee Titans team. Derrick Henry in the backfield. You got Julio now, and of course A.J. Brown. All right, so this is a solid Tennessee team. Of course, just depends on their defense, how it works. They also lost Jonnu Smith, but it's all good. And, this team is just, they added another dangerous stud to their team. Simple as that. And I love A.J. Brown's stock as is. Just because he's dropping, you shouldn't be scared. There's no need for that. So at number 5, I have A.J. Brown. Now, for the last 2 minutes of the show, I want to run through my last 4. So at number 4, I had Davante Adams. I know, don't kill the messenger boy here, but Davante Adams at number 4. I'm still not sure of the outcome of Aaron Rodgers. Now, if Rodgers is in camp and if Rodgers is a Packer, oh, absolutely, Davante's number 1. Okay, I have him over Tyreek Hill if that's the case. But this is a questionable situation for the Packers, and we're not sure what's going to happen in terms of him and his status. And Davante, who knows? We'll see what happens. But at number 4, I had Davante Adams. Number 3, I had DeAndre Hopkins. We know what he can do. Okay, they added A.J. Brown as a little bit side of relief for Hopkins, and of course Larry Fitzgerald as well. So they should be loaded. Kyler has a lot of weapons to throw to, but we know with Hopkins, you know what you're going to get. And to finish up the segment here, number 2, I have Stephon Diggs. Again, he's a first-round play this year. He's going for about $50 on auctions. You have Josh Allen, a top 2 quarterback. Simple as that. I highly recommend you take Stephon Diggs. PPR, he's a monster. And of course, at number 1, Tyreek Hill. Can't go wrong with that Kansas City offense. He gets the plays. He gets the catches. He'll get you the yards. He'll give you 20 points a game if need be. Auction-wise, he's going for 50+ as well. And you can't go wrong with that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of time. Hope everyone has a great Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll talk my top 10 quarterbacks and, of course, my NHL recaps. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys. Bye.